Hey folks, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, back here for another review. And wait, what am I seeing in the sky? It's kind of flapping. Is it? Could be a bird, maybe a condor, or a vulture? No, it's getting closer. Maybe it's a ship or a plane, a spaceship or a plane. Oh, wait. It kind of looks like it could be a dinosaur. Oh wait, I know what it is. It's this guy. It is Transformers Combiner Wars Lynx, and we're going to take a look at him. Coming up next in the latest GotBot True review. Okay, so welcome back, and as always, I'm going to ask you to, check me out across social media and check out Machinery of Man and the Everything Factor. But we're going to move on right now and take a look at this guy. It is Lynx in his combined mode of Skyrain. I'm starting out this way because I never envisioned Lynx as a combiner. I'm never going to use him as a combiner, so I said I would do this first to kind of get it out of the way. It is impressive looking. I love the look of the chest. The head moves back and forth, but it doesn't. The mouth doesn't close or anything. These shoulder pieces don't lock in anywhere, but there's a decent soft ratchet on it. Folding these up on the side is fine, no problem there. It's just friction, but they stay really well. Same, of course, on this side. His wing pieces do not lock anywhere. They're supposed to be up, but I suspect that a lot of times this is what's going to happen, and they will end up falling down and being more like a cape. The hips, they ratchet out nicely, and they go forward and back, but that ratchet is very loose, in my personal opinion. I also don't like this huge chunk on the back. You can do that. It doesn't say in the instructions, but you can give him a backpack, and I think that looks a lot less obtrusive. I kind of dig it more up like this if you're going to use him as a combiner. I don't have 4 limbs here. I didn't want to take my other combiners apart, so we're going to have this guy stand in, and we're going to have this guy stand in. And let's start out with the legs. Okay, so when we want to deal with these are actually the front arms in robot mode, I guess. And this whole section actually folds down and under and locks up here to become his front paw, I guess we'll call it. And the whole thing untabs and comes up on the side. It's only held in with friction, but I mean it's not going to fall. It's quite tight. And you do the same on the other side, and you face them down, kind of like we did with Silverbolt. The arms become the legs. So I think that's a nice feature. And we just slide a combiner in, and we slide, if we can, there we go. We slide a combiner in, and we have 2 legs. And the legs, they go, well, they can bend out right here because of the elbow a little bit, but they're actually supposed to go out from up here. So you kind of have 2 joints there. It's okay. It's not even really obtrusive. That's no big deal. They go out nicely. They hold nicely when they go out to the side. No problem there. It's pretty good. They go forward and they go back, and there's a bend at the knee, and of course you have that same swivel that you've always had. But when we go forward like this, watch this. When we go back, watch this. Back holds pretty good if you put it up enough that it kind of hits into the shuttle piece. But that forward is, I mean, they're weak. They're weak. Does he stand? Yeah, he stands pretty good, but I have to believe that if you tip him back that way, he's going to fall back. If you tip him forward, he doesn't seem to go forward quite as much. The legs are okay, but See, he goes back. He's going to look good on the shelf. As for posability, playability when it comes to that feature, you know, it's not that it's bad, it's just they're kind of loose, so, you know, I'm going to give him about a 7 there because they are kind of loose. Maybe I'll give him an 8. Kids will probably dig it. Kids probably won't mind that he falls back too much. And once he's standing, he is pretty stable. We take these out. So the legs, you know, the legs aren't too bad. They're a little bit loose, but they're not too bad. So we take these out from here. If I can get it out from here. There we go. So the legs in combined mode, you know, they're not too bad. They are a little bit loose. It is, you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to just take these guys off for a minute. I'm going to explain what we do up on the sides. These are actually his back legs, I guess, in robot mode. And in order to access the combiner port, you basically just pull the pod down and put it all the way into the side, and you pull this pod down and put it all the way into the side, and you just leave them like that, and they don't tab in anywhere, and this does this. Will that be an issue? Well, we're about to find out. We are about to find out. I'm going to just take a second here now and put our combiner helpers in their arm mode, or at least a rough approximation of their arm mode, and we'll see how he measures up there. I am going to tell you now that I do have a concern about the performance here as an arm. So we'll see if that concern is grounded or if it's not grounded. We have one in combined mode, and I will take a second and do the other here in combined mode. Luckily, these are pretty quick and easy to do, to be honest with you. If you're not, you know, if you're not showing them on camera, they're not too bad to do. Take those out and put those down. And we have a, ooh, guess I should turn him like that, and we have another one in combined mode. And we take our body and we slot down in the, you know, on the top, and we take our body and we, just turn that hand around so that makes some more sense. And we take this one and we slot down. This is obviously not Sky Rain because I don't have the wave that goes with him. Even locally at local retail, he hasn't come out here yet. I ordered this guy from ages 3 and up, and I'm so glad that they had him in stock and that they were able to get him out to me, and I'm really appreciative of that. So, of course, the arms, you know, they can go out and they can go down. I was holding on to the claw. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, so that one works okay going out, and this one over here works okay going up, but you'll notice that this starts to come out. If you want, I mean, you could, you know, kind of break this piece right here a little bit and get his arm way up. The thing is, I think that's okay. The fact that that doesn't peg in doesn't really bother me when it comes to this. It just kind of gives him a little more mobility, if you ask me. So I'm okay with that not pegging in there. Of course, we still get the swivel, and you know, all of that has to do with the limb itself. And both of these make great limbs, for the record. Now, here's where my concern comes in. Going around. Here you go. This is what happens. You see what's happening here? The whole section is moving because it doesn't peg in anywhere, rather than the limb moving. Let's see if it happens on the other side. Will the whole shoulder piece move, or will the combiner port move on its own? Nope, same problem. Same problem of the whole thing moving. Is it a huge problem? No, I mean, you can either Why does that not want to go together? There. I mean, you can either hold on to the paw. You can hold on to the paw and move it that way pretty fine. You know, you can hold on to the paw over here, so to speak, and it'll move fine. But you need to hold on to him the right way. He's not as bad as, say, Motormaster was, but he's not particularly great either. These are the weapons that come with Skylynx. They're sword blasters. I don't really know what these things are. They can be held by the Combiner Wars hand-foot pieces. I guess you could also, if you wanted to, let's see here. You can take them and you'll notice, okay, see if I can explain this. You'll notice that there's a tab here and a slot here, same on the other piece, and you can take them and take them like this and peg them. Oh, didn't want to do it. Take them like this and peg them together and have like a double sword type of deal. And I guess that would, yeah, I mean, that still fits in there if you wanted to do that. I don't think the weapon is particularly fantastic. So, in terms of being a torso, he's at best okay. We've gotten better ones. That's what I'll say. We have gotten better ones. It's not the worst, but it's only at best middle of the road. I never ever plan to use him in this mode, so it kind of doesn't make a huge difference to me. Let's get him out of this mode then, shall we? We turn the head around, and we are going to lift up the whole chest piece and kind of stick it back in right there. We're going to take this head and turn it around, and we'll go like that with it, say. And we will take these pieces and fold them up, and take this piece and fold it up, and we will flip up that paw and turn it all the way around, and flip up this paw and turn it all the way around so that they kind of look like this. We're going to take this paw piece all the way out and put it back. And you'll notice I'm doing this quickly because, again, it's not what my focus is. And we're taking this piece and putting it all the way in like this. And this is kind of the way that we got him in package. Half transformed as really kind of nothing. So let's make him kind of something. We're going to do, what will we do first? We'll do his Skylynx mode first, since he's kind of closely there. I've heard that, as he's being repackaged, he's more in shuttle mode with his head down like this. But we'll put him in robot mode first. I'll do the fan mode for the Lynx, and then we'll do the shuttle last, I guess. Actually, no, let's do the shuttle first. Let's do the shuttle first and go from there. So you get him in a package, and he's sort of like this. And what do? Well, he's actually not that hard. Let's start with the easiest part. You fold that up and put that piece down. These are kind of free-flowing. Just leave them for now. And the tail is up right here. No problem. You take the wings and you flip them around, and you take this wing and you flip it around, and you take this piece and push it in, and you take this piece and you push it in. They should go just kind of under the thruster section. Then you come to these back legs, and you're going to kind of angle them back, and oh, sorry, I did that wrong. Angle them back and face them out like this. Then you're going to flip them in so the claws kind of meet in the center. Like that, and like that. That's the back of them pretty much done. You can straighten these pieces down, no problem. Then we come to his front legs and his head. We'll do the front legs first. You lift up this bottom flap, and you kind of swing the legs out to the side like this. you swing them down, and you swing them down. Now, what you're basically going to do is flip them in so that they house inside the center mass here. Make sure that's up as far as you can get it. Flip this in and put the claw down. You're going to want to make sure that it's bent 90 degrees at the elbow, we'll call it. And when you put it inside, it should be oriented like this. On the other side, you do the same thing. You make sure it's bent up to 90 degrees. You put this claw down. You flip it in, and in the center, they should both look like this. And then we just flip this piece back down. All that leaves now is the head, and that's simple. You basically just push it back and tab it in. And make sure that that's up. Position these however you like. And boom, you have him here in shuttle mode. Some people might say, hey, what about weapon storage? Because you mentioned those sword things earlier. There's a couple options. You can either stick them up under the wing pieces. And I think that this is the way they are in the package. If I can orient this properly, I will do it. And it doesn't, you can stick them up under on this side and again one on this side, like, you can do that. Ooh, you can do that. Or if you feel like that's kind of sticking off and obtrusive, you can also use these ports here on the side of the legs and really have them going down the length of the body, we'll say. That's a bit of a tighter fit. I don't know if it's actually intended for the weapon storage, but I kind of like that. Some people don't like this because they say, hey, he's supposed to have more red here, and now all of a sudden it's kind of silver-ish, or at least unpainted gray plastic-ish. Either one, I think is fine. Some people have complained about the whole mask down here. I'm fine with that because his animation had it. I'm fine with that because his shuttle is used to looking like this. It's just I guess like a payload cargo carrier type of section. Anyway, I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me at all, not one little bit. I love the paint apps. I love the gold used up here. I love the gold used on the side. I love the Autobot symbols with the gold on them. They're big and they stand out. They look beautiful. I kind of don't dig these wings the wrong way, but that's done for Skyrange chest. I might pop them off and turn them around the right way since I don't plan to use them as Skyrain. I like the blue. The red is all right. The red it's good. It looks kind of rich on camera, but it puts me in the mind more of the sort of red styling. It's not the same thing. It's brighter, but the sort of red styling used on like FOC Starscream. I feel like the red is almost like it was very slightly mixed with blue, maybe. I'm not sure. But I love this. Of course, these don't lock in. These blue pieces don't lock in, but they tend to stay in okay with friction, So that's a shuttle mode, and it looks pretty great, to be honest with you. So we're going to take these off, and we're going to take them from shuttle mode now, and we'll put them in the Lynx mode that we all know and love, or all know and tolerate. And he pegs together pretty good where he pegs together. The thing is, though, a lot of this guy's held in with friction. It works okay. It works all right. Some people also have complained about this guy and said, hey, he should have been a leader class. I don't think so. I'm glad that I have a Lynx character because he's not one that I had as a kid. Would I want to pay the leader class price point for Lynx? I don't think I would have wanted him bad enough for that. But for a Voyager, yeah, definitely. He's definitely worth it. So, to transform him out of this, we just pop that out and bring it forward. We go down here and we open up that chest piece again. And now these front legs, we just flip them right back out to the side. And we close that chest piece up again. We bring these forward And really all you need to do is, turn them forward, bring up the claws, I guess, and start to bring down the legs. You can go up here and open his mouth. You can bend him here at one hinge on the neck, but there's another hinge if you pop him forward. So he actually has two hinges at the neck, and I guess put that piece down. There's his head. We take out these blue pieces. Now the instructions are going to tell you to, like fold those up and fold these forward. So I will do that for now. And kind of put these back like this. And then we come to the back legs and we bring them down and fold them out. Bring it down and fold it out. Bring down the paw piece, bring down the paw piece. Oh, and I got to actually turn them all the way around. And turn this one all the way around. And in essence, and I forgot his tail, which is just this fin up here, that just comes down like that. And in essence, there you go, Skylynx in his robot mode. And I guess there's a few things to talk about here. First, and you can fold that piece out right there. And there you go. There's Skylynx, officially transformed, basically. Let's talk about a few things here. The first thing I want to talk about is some positioning. A lot of people have complained that these back paws are really loose and will not hold him up. Mine holds him up on his toes. If I put him flat foot, some people say, hey, this is what happens. That's not typically what happens with mine. Here's what I do. I kind of bend that leg a little bit, and I bend the other leg a little bit. I position those so that they're, going to be feet. I make sure that the front ones are going to be full on flat, or at least pretty much as full on flat as you can get. I bring these a little bit forward, and when I lay him down, he doesn't, he's barely off the ground, but Skylynx for me stands pretty good and his feet don't go up. I guess I'm fortunate. That being said, these wing pieces are another thing that I do differently. Instead of leaving them flipped up like this, I leave them flipped back and angle that back. I leave this flip back and I angle it back. I do that for two reasons. One, because I kind of like the look of these angled back more. And because, again, in the animation, his wings didn't flip up, they stayed back. And a third reason, I love being able to see the Autobot symbols there. And the last thing, I guess, to mention is weapon storage. Again, if you do this orientation, you can store the weapons still on his side or still up and under, but you can also extend his tail. Now, this tail piece here, I think should be red. I don't think I'm going to paint it because it doesn't bother me that much. But basically, you put these on his tail to extend it. And here's basically what you do. You have, in the handle, you have a hole, and you have a hole in the handle of this one. And on the tail, you actually have two pegs right here. So you basically just take the handle and put it on over a peg, and you take the other handle and you put it on over, if I can do it, on over a peg and on over a peg, and then you bring them together like that, and there you go. There's weapon storage for you. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them having a longer tail, to be honest with you. So, paint apps overall for this guy. Well, like I said, the red is very slightly off to me. His eyes, have spaces in between the gold instead of one long piece of gold to be his eyes. The whole neck isn't quite red, and there isn't red back here on his tail. So I'm going to give his paint apps a 9. You're not mistaking that it's Skylynx, but there's a couple of places where they could have improved on the paint ever so slightly. Paint apps in all modes for this guy, a 9. The Posability, playability, well, in shuttle mode, he's a shuttle. We already went through the posability in his combined mode. The fan-made Lynx mode is pretty similar in terms of posability to this mode, so I'll run through it. The head, or the tail in the Lynx mode, can move all the way around. It bends at a joint up here, it bends at a joint down here, so he can look all the way up, he can look all the way down. His jaw opens and closes. Now when he looks to the side, he kind of looks up until you get him all the way around. It's kind of looking behind him. That's just the way the mold is. The wings, obviously they can go forward or back, and you know, this piece doesn't lock anywhere. You could even leave it folded all the way back if you wanted. You can kind of position these however you want. I find this one is looser on my copy than this side. The paws go, you know, they tilt down. This one tilts down. There's a swivel at the bicep, I guess we'll call it, and a swivel here at the bicep, I guess we'll call it. Goes forward and back, and it can bend forward, and it can, you know, elbow back that far, so it goes about 90 degrees. The front paws can ratchet out about that far, which I think is fine for Skylynx. The back ones don't ratchet out at all. They're fixed, but they do bend up that way. They can bend way back again. Oh, and there is a swivel back here. Again, do I feel like these back ones need to ratchet out? No, not really. It would be nice, but no big deal. He has a bit of a different play pattern, obviously, because he's a bit of a different dude. Again, if you want to nitpick about the head and no ratcheting on the back legs, his posability, playability is about an 8. I'm going to give it a 9, but it's probably about an 8. I'm just being partial. I'm just being partial. And his tail. I guess I should mention this. His tail can, you know, bend down right here on this hinge, and it bends down even further there. If you want his tail way down, you can, you know, bends up about that far. So it's, you know, it's not bad as far as I'm concerned. I think it's pretty good. You know, so far I think Skylynx is pretty great. He's a, you know, he's a 9 for paint apps. He's a 8 or 9. We'll say 8.5. Let's split the difference. Say 8.5 for postability, playability. Transformation for this guy. Like I said, things don't peg in, but it's easy. So I'm going to give his transformation an 8. He's a good figure. Let's do the Lynx mode, the fan mode, Lynx mode. Let's take these weapons out. And this whole tail piece is going to come right down through the center. This isn't in the instructions. I've just kind of seen this around. We bring this out as if we were going to go to Skyrain. We bring the tail piece, you know, up in the center right there. But instead of bringing this the rest of the way down, we leave it right here and turn the Lynx head around and open up the chest piece like that. And we turn these around to become his front paws. We turn these around to become his front paws. We go back here and we turn this around to become a back paw, and we turn this around to become another back paw. The head, we close it up, we straighten it out, and we bring it up like that to become his tail. And if you want to give him a griffin type of look, you can leave these out. Personally, I like to fold them back and bring these in more toward the body. Fold it back and bring it in more toward the body. Some people angle them up, you know, like this. And you can if you want to. I don't. I leave them down and bring those in toward the body. And then you can take your sword pieces, and I like to put them on the wing and angle it in to kind of bring the body together toward the tail. Take this one, put it in, angle it back toward his tail, just to sort of falsely give the impression that the body's coming together. And there you go. There is your Lynx mode. And again, I think let's see if I can set this up a bit better. Again, I feel like the Lynx mode looks great. Love the head sculpt there. You know, both head sculpts are fantastic. Here's the top view. You know, here's the front view, and here's the side view. It's so easy to get him here. So honestly, for transformation through all modes, like I said, he is easy. Final thoughts on Skylynx. Well, I want to mention something else that a lot of people have complained about. Oh, he doesn't split and become the two parts. No, he doesn't. But you can, you know, you can falsify both modes, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, to be perfectly honest with you. It doesn't cause a problem for me. If it does for you, well, it does, and maybe this version of the character isn't for you. And if he's not, well, he's not. He works for me, and overall, I'm going to give this mold a score of a 9. I think Skylynx was really, really good. If we're going to throw the combiner mode in with him of Skyrain, like if you're somebody who wants to throw that in there, yeah, hey, you know what? Go right ahead and throw it in there. I think that part was unnecessary. I think it lowers his score from a 9 to about a 7.5. But that's just me. Is he a perfect Skylynx? No. Is he a great update from the original? Yeah, I think so. I you know, considering it's been so long since we've had a Skylynx, and I think the only one we have is the original besides, you know, besides this guy. So, in the end, do I, see if I can settle him up the way I want him. In the end, can I recommend Combiner Wars Voyager class Skylynx to you? Yeah, if you can get your hands on it, do it. He's not the easiest guy to find. He really isn't the easiest guy to find. Even online, I've found him difficult to find in stock. I will, you know, I guess I'll mention this before we go. Let's sign off here. Here's his box. You know, nice box art. A picture of Skyrain on the side. You know, here's the way he looks on back, and you can see the way the wings are oriented forward, even though I don't do that. Little bio up there. He looks good, and he has, you know, his instruction sheet, and I mean, it's instructions. It is. They're pretty good instructions. They're not bad, except I don't feel like they kind of do an adequate job of explaining how these pieces fold into the belly of the beast, so to speak. And of course, the all-important collector card. I like the look of the collector card. It looks, you know, looks pretty good. Skylynx would think that it looks fantastic because, you know, it's Skylynx. So that's it. That's it. Skylynx is in the book. Look at that head sculpt. It's so Skylynxy. I do wish that this was one piece of gold, but it's really good. That's it though. Skylynx is in the books. I guess technically Skyrain is in the books. He's a good figure. I enjoy him. I have fun with him. I think he's a blast, and he's something different that we haven't had in a long time. Anyway, if you get your hands on him, hope you enjoy him too. Thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time that we have a visit right here inside the videos.